Well, hello and a very warm welcome to the Andrew Eborn Show with me, Andrew Eborn. I'm delighted that some of our regular guests are flooding back in to tell us what they've been doing over the festive season. And one such guest is the wonderful Dawn Parry. How are you, Dawn?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you, Andrew. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. And how was your Christmas?
Different, very much quieter, obviously. It's usually full of an awful lot of people here. You know, we've got a great big house and a great big dining room, and I've usually got it full of loads of talented, fun-filled guests and friends. But this year it was much quieter.
So a bit different. How did Pavarotti celebrate? Because we love Pavarotti ever since he was on the show. One of our favourite things. He's got his own fan club.
I know. Yeah, he's quite vicious though, you know. He's enormous now. He's only a few months old, but he's absolutely enormous. And the thing with Pavarotti is that at the moment, all animals, because of the avian flu out there at the moment, all birds anyway, have got to be kept away from wild birds. So I've got him in a courtyard with his dames, and unfortunately it's not enough space for him. He's really frustrated. So even at Christmas, because the lockdown for it all was on December the 14th, so Christmas was very strange. In fact, picture this: I was stuffing the turkey in the kitchen. Pavarotti and the chickens were lined up on the windowsill, all just glaring in, looking in horror while I was stuffing this turkey. They made me feel so guilty.
You should feel guilty. You should. It's a terrible thing to do. Last time we joined you when we saw Pavarotti, he was in the kitchen with you. That would have been horrendous for him to be there to witness this firsthand.
Well, he witnessed it firsthand from the glass, through the glass.
It would have attacked. Well, I told you, we used to, when I was a little one, we used to have a number of bantams and horses and all sorts of glorious things. But there's one particular chicken called Cheeky that every time I used to come home from school, used to run after us in a very vicious way. We had to clamber on top of my mother's car because they can get quite vicious, these chickens, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's not the chickens that are vicious as such. It is the cockerels, and they stand their ground and they won't give up with anything. You know, they're there to protect. And to be fair to him, he does his job really well. The postman, I've never seen the postman move so fast.
One of the other things.
Oh, excuse me, 1 second. I'm just being asked if yes, please. Thank you very much. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
What have you got?
I have some coffee arriving.
You're just being spoiled, haven't you? Well, I'll tell you what, I've been...
Staff, darling. What you need is live-in staff. Thank you very much.
Very good. I've got a little cup here. Think like a proton and stay positive. But that's like
fantastic. Well, staying positive is so important, especially at the moment with coronavirus.
Yes. Well, you don't want to stay positive. You want to sort of get off the positive things. But and I think it's quite horrendous. People are looking for the escape, and we're looking for good stories. We started one good story, and then the hamster wheels sort of let it down in the depths of Somerset over there. And you are halfway through telling us about your fantastic solar-powered backpack. So we should get that full story. Tell me the story about that.
Yes. Let's hope there are no gremlins today. I think we've dealt with all the gremlins now anyway. It was somebody digging up the road. Well, I invented solar-powered backpacks back in about, I think it was 2003. And when I came up with the idea, I was actually quite disappointed that I couldn't do anything like, you know, copyright it as my own in some way or another. I should have come to you back then, but I didn't know you existed back then, Andrew.
Very few people knew I existed. It was always a thrill. And all the better for it. I think their lives have never been the same again.
Yeah, well, yes, indeed. Absolutely. The thing is that when you've got electronics and they already exist, and then you put them in a bag that also already exists, effectively, it's not even though you came up with the idea of what you do with it, it's not yours to register. Anyway, apparently. What had happened was my eldest son had gone off on what so many seem to do, but my youngest didn't, traveling around the world for a gap year instead of going straight to university. And so he had this fantastic time, but by the time he got to South Africa, he'd been mugged about 2 or 3 times in South Africa. But on one occasion on Diani Beach, he got shot at and it was incredibly frightening, and he wanted to come home. He couldn't phone me at the time from where he was. And the weirdest thing of all as well, it was on the exact day when I was sitting in a great big tent on the Downs in Clifton.
Ah, yes.
Robin Cousins was dancing on ice. We were watching an ice show. And the sort of the bizarre bit about all of it really was that Tony Blair had announced that we were joining America, we were going to war with Iraq. And it was all a terribly scary day. And then I've got, a message from my son saying, "Mum, I've been shot at." Luckily, they didn't cause him any damage. They shot at his feet, but demanded his passport money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he wasn't able to phone me because his mobile phone had died. So he had to go to a concierge in a hotel and call me from there. Anyway, so that led me to come up with, ta-da!
I'm coming to the sound effect as well, which is nice. So talk us through that. So I can see the solar panel on it.
Well, there's my little brand, Saltaic. It's a straightforward standard backpack. Oops, there we go. Straightforward standard backpack. It's got a solar powered panel there. I don't know if you can you see that a bit better?
That's
you
it.
see all the little grids on it and so on. Inside the zip pocket, you have cabling. It's all lovely and waterproof. And that cable there attaches to a battery. And the battery can store power if you need to store power overnight, so that you can power things up at night. You also then have all your other, sorry, it keeps going out of shot. I keep forgetting the camera's right in the middle there. And you have all your other little bits and pieces, any other, whatever things people need. To be honest, most people are quite happy just to have the USB female receiver so that you can just plug your whatever you want to charge straight into it. Anyway, and that is it. And now people can, travel around the world wearing this thing. It's a very small, light bag, so it's not their main bag. It just goes into the top of people's bags. Travel around the world safely and power up whatever they need to charge.
And I think that's the biggest currency, isn't it, at the moment, apart from data, is power, because we're always running out of power. And that's the problem. People got their mobile phones and you're doing all the different apps on it and everything else. And it just drains and drains and drains it. So to have that on tap is fantastic.
Yes, the only problem is, of course, that all of the companies now have cottoned onto all of this, and they have created batteries. Strangely, during a period when battery power could be magnificent and and never fail us, all our batteries, if you notice, the longer we have our phones and the more we use them, the quicker they deplete of power. So, for example, if you've got are we allowed to name brands? Well, we may as well. They may want to
as long as they send in sponsorship money, you name as many as you like.
Okay, well, iPhone.
Ferrari, Lamborghini. There you go.
Let's go for it. Hey, Rolls-Royce, Bentleys. I used to have a lovely Rolls-Royce, actually.
Oh, did you? Anyway, what did you have?
Oh, I had a Corniche. It was a 1973 classic Corniche.
I love those cars.
Used to belong to Robert Sangster, actually. It was gorgeous. It was a light metallic blue, and it's just stunning. And I loved it. And of course, it's stick operated, no actual gears or no automatic slide. And it came with the original 1973 tracks. They were 8 tracks that would slot in, amazing, with loads of them. It was things like Neil Diamond, the very earliest of ABBA, before they were sort of anything, or they might have been added, I don't know. But there was some fantastic 8 tracks in it. Very much of it.
I love the cars. So product placement all round. We'll get those glorious cars sent in.
Okay, well then let's go back to the phone product placement.
Yes, name the phone companies. Which one?
Well, infamously, you've got iPhone, and your iPhone will be fantastic for the first year, let's say, and then all of a sudden, by the time you get to 30% or 20% after your first year, it suddenly goes poof, off, gone. Once you're talking, so Samsung seem to be somewhat better. Come on, Samsung.
I think a lot of people have now built the batteries into the phones. We had to be fair to all the companies, I'm sure, give them a chance to clarify what happens. But the whole idea, the business is getting in new phones all the time. You want to keep getting the latest edition because that's your business model. It's rather like having an everlasting light bulb. We have the technology to make that, but there's no incentive to do that because otherwise you bought one, it, as its name suggests, it lasts forever.
Well, unless, of course, you get an extremely good deal, and here we go, some more product placement. Unless you get an extremely good deal with a company like Utility Warehouse, which is, I don't know if you've ever come across them, have you?
I have heard of them. I haven't dealt with them yet.
Well, they're like a big family. You join where other people are part of this company that do all your utility bills. And mind you, they're still expensive, but you join and the more people in it, the cheaper it becomes. But their thing is that they give you free light bulbs. The ones that are supposed to last for life, and they guarantee that they will last for life. And if one goes, they send you a new light bulb, and they're much cheaper to run. And they
send you a new life. I guess that one of these catches depends on how you classify a life. Okay, well that's interesting.
Well, it is interesting because so I've got lots of chandeliers. And they didn't realize they'd have to bring a lorry over to fill up the place with light bulbs.
Well, we should have a look at that. We'll put the links at the bottom of this particular episode as well. But your backpack, your solar-powered backpack,
yes,
solar power, it's like wind power and so on and so forth. In this green age, this is going to be the big issue, which lots of people have been looking at very recently and continue to do so, which I think is fantastic. But whereabouts can people get hold of your solar-powered backpacks?
Just contact me. Dawn at Dawn. No, I've ditched that one. Hang on. Let's go for.
You don't even know your own email address. How on earth?
No, I do. I have so many. Listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I have several different businesses, as you know, and I have all sorts of different email addresses. I would stick to dawnparry@hotmail.com.
There you go. Wonderful stuff. Well, good luck with that. I love the concept of anything environmental.
They've been going for years. I've had them for years now. I'm kind of bored with this one, to be honest.
Bored with that. Okay. Well, we've done that, but the principle is great. And we finished that story. That was a bit of unfinished business. Some more of the unfinished business. We had some glorious guests at the end of 2020, and some of those are going to be popping up to give us a little update on what they've been up to. Remind us of some of the people who are going to be coming up later on in the series.
Well, you have Bernie O'Reilly, who is a clairvoyant, and I think I'll see. Should we see if I can get her to read my cards?
Oh, maybe when she comes in, absolutely, we'll do that next.
Should we do something like that? Okay, all right. We can have a look at that. But Bernie's been very busy. She's written several more books, and they are almost ready to be published again. She's already got, I think there are 4 that are published that are out there currently, a series of 4. And we have Martin Williamson, who, in fact, he and I have been working together. And if you remember, Martin does a lot of Noel Coward impersonations and readings and things like that. And
Noel Coward, because we've got Blithe Spirit out at the moment with the wonderful Dame Judy.
Well, I tell you what, we'll ask our Noel Coward to read something rather good.
Oh, that would be good. Well, we'll do that then. We'll have Martin Williamson as Noel Coward. That'd be rather sensational.
Yes, it will. And if not in costume, in voice. He's very good at that, which is how I first met him. But you'll hear all about that another time. Okay. We also have the amazing Anthony Lewis Churchill, who is a children's writer.
Very famous. I love the one about the dinosaurs and things like that. It's rather fun.
Now this one is, so the new one that's coming out is Lucy the Triceratops.
That's the one.
I'll give you more details when I've got it in front of me, but it looks pretty exciting stuff. But did you know that he also is a clairvoyant to the stars around the world?
Oh, look at that, the stars, we love it. So all these clairvoyants, we should have a battle of the clairvoyants.
We should, shouldn't we? We should.
And talking about wonder, we've also got one of the phenomenon which has cropped up during the pandemic with lots of people doing these Zoom and other platform shows. We've got somebody from the Wonderbirds. Tell me about that.
Oh, yes. I will be speaking to her later this evening, actually. And that is Debbie Apted. And Debbie was in fact, I think I texted you about this, and unfortunately, yes, but good old Predictive changed her name to Adapted.
I wonder which one. She said the founder. I thought, well, that doesn't quite sound right, but it's yeah.
Anyway, but Debbie has been on our televisions for years. She's a fantastic actress, very talented lady, and a lovely individual. And so she will be coming on as well. And I have got Porter, who is the American celebrity chef, lovely man, great big sort of green-eyed, rather dazzling individual, and he's a fantastic chef. And I think at the moment he is in Beverly Hills, so he lives in 2 places in the US. And he's also a rather good artist.
Oh, brilliant.
Fun, you know, those of us who love to cook and things like that, we tend to be quite creative. As you know, I love cooking. We tend to be quite creative with whether it's, you know, with music or paintbrushes or all of those things.
Oh, fantastic. And it tends to go really well to get the food and the art and so on and so forth. So all of that to look forward to on the Andrew Eborn Show. But for now, Dawn Parry, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye, Andrew.
So thank you very much again to my guest, Dawn Parry, with a little glimpse of what's going to be coming up here on the Andrew Eborn Show. Don't forget, if you would like to be a guest on the Andrew Eborn Show, write to me at guests@octopustv.com. That's guests@octopustv.com. Don't forget, you can follow me on all the usual platforms at Andrew Eborn, at Octopus TV, at Stella TV4. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and other channels. But for me, for now, thanks very much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.